This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The time is 6:15. Here is the news, edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe, read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines of the local news. The government expresses confidence of securing support for its domestic accountability process. Sputnik 5 vaccine will be used only in specific areas. The Government Medical Officers Association requests the government to extend the doctor's retirement age. Local investors invited to take part in development activities in the country. An operation to detect vehicles with worn-out tires suspended. Foreign news: India orders COVID tests at airports as cases surge. Sports news: Sri Lanka leads by 153 runs in the test against West Indies. Local news in detail. Minister Keli Rambukala said Sri Lanka is confident of securing support of its domestic accountability process at the UN Security Council. He said that if any attempt is made to impose trade sanctions on Sri Lanka through the UN Security Council, such attempt is unlikely to get support. He said that Sri Lanka has the backing of a majority of countries with veto powers in the UN Security Council. The minister said that the resolution on Sri Lanka adopted by the UN Human Rights Council is non-binding. He said that Sri Lanka will prepare a strong response to the resolution to be presented to the UN by September. Government said the Sputnik 5 vaccine will be used in specific areas or zones and will not be mixed with the other vaccines. Minister Keli Rambukala said that those given the Sputnik 5 vaccine as the first jab will need to get the same vaccine for the second jab. As a result, he said that specific zones will be identified to give the Sputnik 5 vaccine. The Government Medical Officers Association has requested the government to extend the doctor's retirement age to 63. GMOA Secretary Dr. Shenal Fernando said there is an acute shortage of doctors in hospitals, especially in rural areas. He said the GMOA has received information related to doctor shortage in rural hospitals following the Gama Samaga Pilis Sandra program held attended by the President. Issuing a statement, Dr. Fernando pointed out that a large number of doctors who are leaving the country in recent past caused the current shortage. He said the examination to register practice medicine was also not held for 2 years. Therefore, the Government Medical Officers Association has requested the government to extend the retirement age of doctors to 63 to overcome the situation in rural hospitals temporarily. However, Dr. Fernandez said it is unfortunate that no cabinet approval has been granted so far to this effect. Secretary to the Treasury S.R. Artigal says that a decision has been taken to invite local investors to take part in the development activities in the country. During a discussion held today online, he said the economy of the country would be strengthened by the participation of local investors in the development process of the country. He said that foreign exchange can be saved when making payments to them. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The Speed Investment Plan from Sri Lanka Insurance. Give a high five to life.
Continuing with more local news, an operation to detect vehicles with worn-out tires has been temporarily suspended. Minister Keli Rambukala said that the operation has been suspended taking into consideration the issues faced by the vehicle owners. He said the matter had been raised during the recent cabinet meeting. He also said that steps will be taken to import tyres to meet the requirements in the market. 2 orders under the Motor Vehicle Act were passed in Parliament today. Minister Gamini Lokage presented them for debate. Taking part in the debate, MP Sanat Pandara said that a select committee should be appointed on road accidents and laws should be updated. MP Kumara Velgama pointed out that the need to import electric vehicles. State Minister Dilum Amrugama said, apart from the vehicle emission test, a test on road worthiness would be conducted in future. MP Chamara Sampath Dasanayaka pointed out that the need to pay compensation to the Passara bus accident victims. MP Anil Lavala said that shortage of traffic police officers have also contributed to the increase in road accidents. Setting up of national schools countrywide will commence next month under the instructions of Education Minister Professor G.L. Peiris. Under the first stage of the program, 123 national schools will be opened, and under the second stage, 673 national schools will be opened. District development committees are now entrusted with the responsibility of deciding the location for the new national schools. The Ministry of Health says that another 324 patients who recovered from the coronavirus have been discharged from medical care. This brings the total number of COVID-19 recoveries in the country to 87,630. A total of 2,583 infected patients are currently under medical care at hospitals and treatment centers across the country. The total of COVID-19 cases in the country so far has climbed to 90,765 and the death toll stands at 552. Fisheries Minister Douglas Devananda has said that a problem faced by the owners of multi-day fishing boats will be addressed. As action has been taken to get the released fishermen arrested in Indian and Maldivian waters. Meanwhile, the Australian government has announced 4,500 vessel monitoring systems. Minister Douglas Devananda also said that they have agreed to provide the equipment. The Old Ceylon Multi-Day Fishing Boats Owners Association talks with the Minister Douglas Devananda took place at the Ministry of Fisheries yesterday. The Court of Appeal today decided to issue an order with regard to issuing notice to the respondents of the writ petition filed by MP Ranjan Ramanayake, seeking an injunction restraining him from losing his parliamentary seat on 31st of this month. Attorney at Law Suran Fernando, appearing for petitioner Ranjan Ramanayake, requested the court that it will be 3 months on 8th April since sentencing his client and requested the court to issue the above order before that date. The petition was heard by Justice Arjuna Obesekar and Justice Mayadun Korea during the last 3 days. The DNA of the body brought to Sri Lanka from Dubai alleged to be of Keselwati Dinuka and the DNA samples obtained from the biological mother of Keselwati Dinuka have tallied with each other. It was brought down from Dubai to Sri Lanka on 18th of this month. Police media spokesperson T.H. Ajit Rohana said the test results released today confirmed that the body brought down from Dubai belongs to the notorious criminal. Janata Vimukti Perumal leader Anura Kumar Dissanayake today filed a case in the Court of Appeal seeking an injunction order against the recommendations issued on him by the Presidential Commission on Political Victimization. Mr. Dissanayake has also sought the Court of Appeal to acquit him from all the charges. He told the media outside the Court of Appeal that he had been named as a respondent in a case. The Northern Provincial Director of Health Services, Dr. A. Kediswaran, said another 23 people in the Northern Province have been confirmed to be infected with the COVID-19. 21 have been identified in Jaffna district and 1 each in Kilnochie and Mannar districts. Meanwhile, a part of Jaffna town vegetable market has been temporarily closed after 9 of the PCR samples from 60 people in the market tested positive yesterday. The Jaffna Teaching Hospital Acting Director Dr. Bhavan Andaraja said a Centre for Early Detection of Cancer has been opened at this hospital. It is the first cancer detection centre to be opened in the Northern Province. Director General of National Cancer Prevention Programme, Dr. Janaki Vidhanapathirana, inaugurated the event today. The services of this centre can be obtained from the Outpatients Department of the Jaffna Teaching Hospital. The Cancer Detection Centre is open for the public 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That ends local news.
Introducing Speed Investment with Sri Lanka Insurance, the only insurance policy that increases your sum assured by 5% every year for the same premium amount. You also get a bonus payment at maturity. What better plan to have when you can invest now and relax later? The Speed Investment Plan from Sri Lanka Insurance. Give a high five to life. Sri Lanka Insurance. Like a father, like a mother.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidamahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The government has declared tomorrow a national day of mourning in remembrance of the late Mahanayaka of the Sri Lanka Amarapura Mahanikaya, Most Venerable Agga Mahapandita Kotugada Dhamma Vasanayaka Thero. The decision has been taken in consideration of the immense services rendered by Most Venerable Dhamma Vasanayaka Thero to the nation, religion and Buddha Sasana. The final rites of the late Most Venerable Mahanayaka Thero will be performed in Colombo tomorrow. That came to you in main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Moving on to Watchlight, all grades of schools in the Western Province will be opened for academic activities on Monday. Previously, it was decided that schools will open for all grades in Western Province on 19th of next month. It has now been moved forward to next Monday. The decision has been approved by the Director General of Health Services, Dr. Asela Kunawardana. That ends Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News, headlines first. A new double mutant variant of the coronavirus found in India. The world's largest coal mining firm pursues solar energy. China's biggest car brand is to launch rival to Tesla. World News in detail. A new double mutant variant of the coronavirus and 771 others have been detected in samples collected from 18 states across India. Of the 10,787 samples, 736 were positive for the UK variant, 34 for the South African variant and 1 for the Brazilian variant. The report comes amid a recent surge in COVID cases in India, but the government said there was no link between the spike in cases and these variants. The world's largest coal mining firm is to aggressively pursue solar energy and continue to close smaller mines. Coal India Limited plans to invest in a 3,000 megawatt solar energy project in a joint venture with Straight-Run NLC India. The company also wants to compete in India's solar auctions and wind projects by offering the lowest price for clean power. It marks the major shift for the firm, which produces most of India's coal. China's biggest car maker, Geely, is launching a premium electric car brand it hopes will take on Tesla. The Chinese company, which owns Volvo and Lotus, announced its Zeekr brand on Tuesday to tap into China's demand for electric vehicles. It comes as Elon Musk goes on the charm offensive in China, praising its plan to tackle carbon emissions. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. A new double mutant variant of the coronavirus found in India. The world's largest coal mining firm pursues solar energy. China's biggest car brand is to launch rival to Tesla. That came to you on World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by Nivea along with CIB. Valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment and 20% discount for bank card holders during 16th to 30th March. Our product, our place. CIB. A biogas system was handed over to the Kaduela Municipal Council with the presence of the Mayor Buddhika Jailal, with the participation of the resident representative of the United Nations Development Programme in Sri Lanka, Robert Jukham, and the Deputy Director General of Sri Lanka Sustainable Energy Authority, Harsha Vikramasinghe. The project is a part of the government's plans for a greener Sri Lanka, which aims to increase the use of renewable energy to 70% by 2023, and the government's 2015 Energy Sector Development Plan to make Sri Lanka an energy self-sufficient nation by 2030. That ends Development News. Development News was brought to you by Nivea along with CIB. Valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment and 20% discount for bank card holders during 16th to 30th March. Our product, our place. CIB. On to the sports news. Cricket news. Today is the third day of the first test of Sri Lanka tour of West Indies at Antigua. Sri Lanka leads by 153 runs at stumps today. Sri Lanka was 255 for 4 wickets at close of play today in their second innings. Oshando Fernando scored 91, Lahiru Thirimanne 76, Jananda De Silva was not out on 46. Sri Lanka scored 169 in their first innings while West Indies made 271. Olympics news. The government said today athletes representing New Zealand at the Tokyo Olympics later this year will be able to apply to be vaccinated against COVID-19 before they depart. The minister responsible for the New Zealand's response to the global health crisis, Chris Hipkins, said people would be eligible to jump the queue for the vaccine on compassionate grounds or to compete in events of national significance. Wrestling news. Sumo Grand Champion Kakuruyo has retired after missing 5 consecutive tournaments, Kyodo News reported on Wednesday, leaving Hokuho as the sport's only active Yokozuna. Mongolia-born Kakuruyo, aged 35, made his professional debut in 2001 and reached the sport's highest ranking of Yokozuna in 2014, becoming the 71st wrestler to do so. That ends the sports news. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Lanka Ashok Leyland has commenced the assembly of low-flow ultra-modern buses in Sri Lanka at their auto assembly plant in Jaltara, Magama. Director Lanka Ashok Leyland Umesh Gautam said they have commenced one assembly line and the new ultra-modern low-flow buses will be available in the local market from next October. A unique feature of the low-flow buses is that the bus will be automatically lowered to the ground level when the bus stops to pick up passengers, even allowing a passenger on a wheelchair to board the bus without assistance from another. That ends Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Savings account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
As per the provincial statistics released by the Sri Lanka Customs, Sri Lanka's export earnings registered a growth of 2.52% with $993.73 million in February compared to the previous year, maintaining the growth momentum recorded during the last 5 months. This is the highest export figure recorded for the month of February during the last 5-year period. The growth of exports was supported by increase in global demand, notably for products such as electrical and electronic components and rubber gloves. Notable increase in exports were observed to the Netherlands, China, Canada and Spain. That ends Economic News.
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in the Sabaragama, Western, Northwestern and Central provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts during the evening or night. Fairly heavy falls, above 75 mm, can be expected at some places in those areas. Showers will occur in eastern and Ubud provinces and in Hambantota district. That ends Weather Report.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
To wrap up the evening news broadcast on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The government expresses confidence of securing support for its domestic accountability process. Sputnik 5 vaccine will be issued only in specific areas. The Government Medical Officers Association requests the government to extend the doctor's retirement age. Local investors invited to take part in the development activities in the country. An operation to detect vehicles with worn-out tires suspended. Foreign news, India orders COVID tests at airports as cases surge. Sports news, Sri Lanka leads by 183 runs in the test against West Indies. That ends the evening news broadcast on Radio Sri Lanka. Back to my good friend at US, Chandima Vitakon.